We have Rohit Jain of ELP and Badri Narayanan of Lakshmi Kumar and Sridharan with us as the Rajya Sabha is debating the GST bill. But with Mr. Chidambaram's speech over, it's almost a fait accompli that the bill will now get through the Rajya Sabha, and we are almost there at the cusp of history, landmark indirect tax reform being passed by the Indian Parliament. Rohit and Badri, your quick thoughts on this significant move.
Arun, I think this is most important milestone on implementation of GST in this country. We were looking for this milestone to achieve sooner, but we see today is the day where this could be achieved. Most importantly, way forward from today onwards. The critical aspect is some of the three things which I wanted to mention here. First being the role of GST Council, because the GST Council will have to play a very significant role in terms of achieving the uniformity across the states in terms of the law, and that's a very critical aspect. Second is the rate of taxation. While there has been debate which is going on today in terms of what should be the rate, it should not be more than 18%, it should be lower, but that will play a very important role in the success story of GST, that what is the rate that this government will achieve. And the third aspect which is most important is the system. Industry needs time to prepare for the GST, including the government also will need time to develop their own system, including the GSTN, which is the backbone of the success of the GST. I think the three things are very critical in terms of way forward going forward today.
Badri?
I think Rohit has captured the mood, as they say, very well. If you all know, this journey to come today is a journey of more than 10 years. 2006 is when it was first mooted. The first time it was supposed to be introduced was April 2010. The bills which were introduced by the last government and this government differ in some respects, which are also significant both constitutionally as also from a point of view of implementation. I think tomorrow is what Rohit has already spoken about. I think important to understand the moment today. I think one of the great features today, I think, is of the two big parties actually trying to come together to do something for the country. And I think that's a very, very significant move, and hopefully if this camaraderie continues, I think next 3 years can be very beneficial for us.
Let's quickly get on to the point. Mr. Chidambaram, a former finance minister, and made a very articulate argument like he always does, why the standard rate should not exceed 18%. Are you convinced?
I think I've always been saying that we must have a standard rate of around 18% and about, because the minute you have a very high rate, you're going to have huge inflationary cost introduced in the system. And he's right to say that for service tax assessees, if you're going from 15% to 25%, it is going to be very, very high.
Yeah.
But we must be aware of the fact that this 18% is based on certain assumptions on revenue neutral rate being 15%, on the basis of certain other underlying considerations, such as precious metals being taxed at a higher rate. I do believe though 18% is an ideal rate, is likely to be somewhere closer to 20.
Yeah. Rohit and Badri, quickly, according to you all, the biggest challenge for India Inc. in the next 6 months, the biggest challenge for implementation of the GST regime in general. 2 challenges each, quick.
I think most importantly the system. There is lot of changes in terms of the mechanism of compliance for the taxes they follow today as India Inc. will undergo significant change. Most importantly, it's a taxable event from manufacture you are getting into a supply. That requires lot of changes in their system. So that's the first one. And the second one is that entire mapping of their supply chain and restructuring their businesses, which they have lived with in the current indirect tax system, and now getting into a GST regime and changing their entire supply chain would be another challenge. And that is in fact the opportunity for the businesses to really relook at their supply chain.
Badri?